Like, it changed my input on game banging. Like, I'm from Hoover. I'm still from Hoover. I'm always going to be from over there. That's where I was born at, raised at, grew up at. Like, I can't change that. But what made me look at game banging different, I was like, damn, how many years am I going to be faithful to this shit and be out here doing so much shit for this game and I ain't going to get nothing back? Like, it's like you start thinking like, damn, I'm being used. Like, I'm out here doing all this, nigga. I'm out here doing, like if I would have spent all these years in school, nigga, I'd be a brain surgeon or something.
Eightball and MJG. Big shout out to SPI, Spotter Low. You know, I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.
Yeah, Jeter, gratitude is the attitude. Y'all know what it do on my mama. And y'all see the title. I ain't really got no big old intro talk. I can say this, man. Eightball and MJG. The big dude, the bow-legged dude, is a real humble dude. I don't know how many of y'all remember that I Stay Fly video, the 3-6 Mafia video, where Young Buck had a cameo, right? And I went to that video shoot with him, and I saw, well, no, Young Buck didn't have a cameo, I'm sorry. Young Buck was featured on the record. And I got a cameo because I was with Buck the day we was out on the road. So whenever they was like calling Buck, like, hey man, when your tour coming this way, whenever it was, we gonna put in a schedule, all right, then we gonna do the video. So I happened to be there, we in there, and I say all that to say, the big dude was real humble, man. He was filming these dudes' video. I'm pretty sure he was getting some bread. But I just noticed that in my head, all them years I had looked at them like some big rappers, and he was there. He had the whole body harness, working the camera and stuff, man. But with no further ado, let's see what they say these cats have been up to.
All right, man, DJ Daddy Fat Tony down right here in the ATL, and I'm with some legends right now. Eightball, MJG. Man, holla at the people real quick, man. What's going on with y'all?
Man, we just been on the grind, man, working on that album, riding high.
That's the one that had the camera.
It'll be due next year.
I knew what to do. Support Eightball from Eightball and MJG.
We with Eightball and MJG.
Damn, now it might be the other one. I just confused myself. I ain't gonna lie.
They just rocked it. They just rocked the show. I just want to ask them, since it's 20 years, what's the secret?
Yo, this is MJG.
A reflection of what people want from us and like that we do best, you know what I'm saying? And we just, that we didn't want to get away from the people that really want to see Eightball and MJG.
Yo, picture this, Memphis, Tennessee, early 1970s. Orange Mound, one of the rawest, oldest black neighborhoods in the country. That's where these two dudes got planted in the concrete. Monroe Smith, who the world would later call Eightball, and Marlon Goodwin, who would later be known as MJG. Both them kids came up in them Orange Mound streets, watching the world through them shotgun houses and cracked sidewalks. Life wasn't no silver spoon. It was more like the plastic forks from a chicken plate that break if you push too hard. Eightball born October 9, 1972, carried weight from early on. Moms held it down while the block taught him fast. MJG born either in 71 or 73, depending on who you ask. Right around the same era, same mud, same Memphis. And when you growing up in Orange Mound, you either learn how to hustle, how to hoop, or how to spit. Ball and G found that.
You either slinging crack rock or you got a wicked jump shot, or your boys can't get you off the block. That's my remix.
Last lane, and once they did, they ain't never pumped the brakes. School buses had the kids from the mound shipped across town, and that's how the magic sparked. Ridgeway Middle, early 1980s, two young cats crossed paths on that school bus. They both knew they had them rhymes bubbling, so when they linked, it was like two bulldogs sniffing around and realizing, yeah, we built the same way. By high school, they wasn't just friends, they was partners in rhyme, sharpening their pens while the city around them was crumbling under Reaganomics and trap economics. Memphis was a new music industry hub back then. If you wanted it, you had to cook it up yourself. So they linked with DJ Squeaky, a teenage producer who had his house turned into a makeshift studio. The sound was grimy, beats on tape, bass shaking the drywall loose, but that was the laboratory. That's where Ball and G laid them first rhymes, where they started pushing out them neighborhood tapes. And see, they wasn't just rappers, they had entrepreneurial mindsets. They set up their own little operation, OTS, on the Strength Records. That was basically two kids saying, if nobody gonna sign us, we gonna sign ourselves. They pressed up them cassettes, walked into the mom and pop's record stores, and straight up co-signed their own product. No posters, no budget, just word of mouth, and they Sharpie to label the cassette, and people bought in. 1991 came round, and they dropped that and listened to the lyrics tape. That wasn't just music, that was Orange Mound breathing on wax. Hood anthems with no filter, the kind of raps that made the hustlers bob their heads and 12 side-eye. Just like that, the buzz started creeping past the block. Memphis was watching, Houston was listening, and a young record boss named Tony Draper down in Texas was plotting. He was building a label called Suave House, and when he heard the Memphis boys, he knew he had found the cornerstones. Dig this year, early 90s, Ball and G got them tapes buzzing through Memphis like a box Chevy trunk on cracked pavement. Word traveled fast when the streets snapped.
That paint clean as a muff. Oh my bro. That's like the Memphis Grizzly colors.
And the word slid all the way down I-55 to Houston. That's where that boy T. Draper, a young boss with ambition taller than his high top fade, was cooking up his label, Five House Records. Draper wasn't just another cat with a phone book and a dream. He was out here moving like a Southern Clive David, plotting to build a rap empire brick by brick. He called winner Eightball and MJG, pulled up on that Memphis energy, signed him to Suave House. That right there, that was the moment the underground duo became official artists with
I think they had a song called Space Age Pimpin'. I can remember. That was like one of their biggest records, if I'm not mistaken. And I think that was them. I know it was a song out called that. I used to know it by heart. It's crazy. Now you realize, I think back, certain songs you used to think you was going to know by heart forever. Some of them is totally blank. Unless I probably hear the song, then it'll probably come back to me.
Machine behind him. Draper was about his business. He locked down Relatively Records for distribution, which meant the Memphis tapes was about to be shrink wrapped and shipped nationwide. 1993 hit, and Suave House dropped the duo's debut album, Coming Out Hard. Say, bruh.
You ever go to, no, that's, never mind. Never mind, because I don't want to say the wrong thing. That might be the wrong place.
That joint was a banger, the gospel of Orange Mound. Beats heavy like a Crown Vic door slamming. Rhymes painting stories of hustling, survival, and pimping that had the whole South listening. No flashy gimmicks, no fake change, just raw Memphis reality. And just like that, Eightball and G wasn't just no neighborhood heroes no more. They were Southern spokesmen in the game. In 1994, they came with On the Outside Looking In. The title said it all. The South was still locked out the mainstream rap conversation. New York was flexing, West Coast was wilding. In the South was knocking at the door like 12 with a warrant. Eightball and MJG said, bet, we gonna kick it down. That album proved it wasn't no one-hit wonders. 95, that's when the sky cracked open. They dropped on top of the world, and the game had to pay attention. The single Space Age Pimpin' hit like fresh paint on a candy apple red Cadillac. Moving up for the ladies, gritty enough for the hustlers. The record shot up, and the album went gold, peaking at number 8 on the Billboard Top 200. Think about that. Two cats from Orange Mound who started by dubbing tapes in a bedroom studio were now charting on top 10. Now behind the scenes, Draper was flexing too. Suave House was climbing, and Ball and G, his flagship act. Success became problems the way roaches bring cousins. By the late 90s, Draper wanted bigger distribution muscle. Suave House cut ties with Relativity and linked with Universal Records. Bigger checks, bigger marketing, bigger headaches. 97, MJG dropped his solo, No More Glory, through Suave House Universal. That album moved units heavy and went gold, proving MJG wasn't just Ball's sidekick. He could carry his own.
Is that a Confederate flag? I need to hear black people justification for being comfortable and cool with the Confederate flag. Even if that's not one, that's a good conversation.
And then in 98, Ball dropped his double disc Lost on Draper Inc. Records, Draper's spinoff Imprint. That was a monster, showcasing Ball's ability to spit game for 2 hours straight and still keeping the people riding. In 99, they circled back as they duo with In Our Lifetime on Suave House Universal, keeping their name hot. But beneath all that music, cracks were showing in the foundation. Money talks turned to money arguments. Contracts got sticky like one of them white mouse glue traps. And Draper, the same man who brought him in the game, was now the same man they was butting heads with. See, the streets know you can love a label, but you gotta watch the books. When artists feel shorted, it don't take long before lawyers start talking louder than the music. That storm was brewing heavy, and soon it was gonna pour. By the time the calendar flipped to 2000, Ball and G had outgrown the Suave House label. Draper built them up, but them ties was choking, not feeding, so they dipped, signed with Interscope Records, and dropped Space Age Forever. Big label, big hopes, but the shine wasn't as bright as expected.
I think they should have went away from that space age thing. Should have did something fresh. They tried to stay safe because it worked already. Tried to just ride that space wave.
South was shifting. Cash Money and No Limit had the radios on lock, and Ball and G was caught in that shuffle. The album hit, but it ain't explode. It kept grinding though, still legends in the South. Then came a major twist. On P. Diddy Combs smelled an opportunity like lemon scented baby oil on a Southern weight on his roster. So in 2003, he launched Bad Boy South, and guess who he crowned as the first kings? Ball and G, straight out the Mound.
Buffy and Bad Boy South. That situation came along in about 2002 when we wound up being like free agents in the rap game.
That move had them boys back in heavy rotation. In 2004, they dropped Living Legends, and that title fit perfect. Old plaque, videos on BET, features flying. Ball and G was standing shoulder to shoulder with Bad Boy's East Coast machine, but they never lost that Memphis swag. 2005, they double up on the shine with 3-6 Mafia on Stay Fly. That track tore the charts up. Top 20 Billboard, had the whole country hollering.
Oh, that's why they was shooting it themselves. They was on the record, duh. So they just probably was shooting their own videos at that time too on the indie. So since they did that record, yeah, I think it was cut with I forget which one. Yeah, it was the shorter of the two that had the bite. Matter of fact, they might have took turns. It's been a long time, 20 years, 21 years, almost 22.
I got to stay fly. Memphis was united, and Ball and G was right in the middle of the biggest record the city had seen to that point. By 2007, they slid back with Riding High under Bad Boy Atlantic, Still Moving.
See how they keep trying to remix the successful record? Let's get high, ride, and then they come back with Riding High. Got to be more creative sometime, probably.
Still relevant, but behind the curtain, Contracts and Eagles was sparking friction. And back in Houston, Tony Draper was barking too, still pushing old material, still trying to get his cut. Ball and G was inhabiting it. They wanted ownership, no scraps. The love between T. Draper and the duo, they like a car battery with no jumper cables. So instead of looking back, they started carving their own way forward. They hit the indie circuit, Real Talk Entertainment, Ball pushing his own 8 Ways Entertainment, MJG laying seeds with MJG Music, smaller budgets but way more control. No more waiting on labels execs to pick a single. They was calling shots now, like true vets.
In a new situation right now, you know what I'm saying? So
What's up? Holla at him. It's the real, dog.
we doing our own thing right now, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's the real.
No doubt.
We doing our own thing right now. Yeah, so
Man.
November 21st, y'all look for that. Space Age Forever.
And just when people thought they might fade, they linked with T.I. in his Grand Hustle camp around 2008. That was the trap era bubbling, and aligning with Tip gave them new blood. 2010, they dropped 10 Toes Down through Grand Hustle and E1, proving they could still step in the ring and throw punches with the best. After 10 Toes Down in 2010, the album slowed up like traffic on a 2-lane highway after a bad car wreck. The industry had shifted. Trap was running the chart. Young Guns was flooding YouTube and Eightball and G wasn't chasing no TikTok dances. They was vets now, respected, but the machine wasn't built for them no more. Instead of dropping every year, they hit that legacy circuit. Tours, collabs, features. Ball kept his 8 Ways Entertainment rolling. G did his MJ music thing on the side. Both of them stayed visible in Memphis, still on stages, still getting love from the people who grew up on their music. They wasn't chasing hits, they was living off the history they built brick by brick. The city gave them their flowers too. In 2018, they got inducted into the Memphis Music Hall of Fame. That's Memphis saying, y'all just not rappers, y'all pillars. From Orange Mound bus rides to Hall of Fame stages. That's the victory lap with rims spinning. Then in 2022, the world turned in for the versus battle. 8Ball and MJG versus UGK. Southern royalty clashing on stage. Legends from Memphis standing toe-to-toe with the music of Port Arthur's finest. Although Pimp was deceased, it wasn't no beef. It was a celebration. The crowd got history in real time. Hearing classics that shaped the Dirty South blueprint. All in G bought that Memphis draw. That boy Bun rep hard for Pimp C, and hip-hop got reminded who really laid the pavement for today's rappers. Ball and G might not be dropping mainstream projects every year. They ain't ghosts either. They out chill like OGs at the dice game. Not rolling every hand, but when they do step in, everybody gotta pay attention. It built a catalog that can't be erased. A story that started with cassette tapes in the Mound and stretched all the way to Billboard charts and Hall of Fame plaques. They survived the label drama, the major deals, the industry politics. They never folded, never sold out their sound, and that's why when you talk Southern rap, you gotta say their name with respect. From the jump, Ball and G was proof that two kids from Orange Mound could turn a bedroom studio hustle into national respect. They ain't chased gimmicks, they ain't ride waves, they built their own lane. They went label to label, OTS, Wild House, Universal, Interscope, Bad Boy South, Real Talk, Grand Hustle, E1. Some moves fed them, some moves bled them, but every step made them sharper. And when them suits thought they could play game, Ball and G turned that pain into power. Draper, Diddy, whoever, it didn't matter. At the end of the day, them.
This title got a negative title, don't it? The Untold, what is it? The Never Talked About Downfall. This story don't really sound like no downfall to me. Oh, my mama. It just sounds like a story.
Two Memphis Giants still walked away with the respect, while half them labels don't even exist no more. Now in the streets, legacy ain't about plaques on the wall. It's about if your name still rings when the car door slam and the subwoofers hit. And Ball and G, they still the soundtrack to Mound blocks, to backseat sessions, to night shifts and corner hustles. That ain't nostalgia, that's timeless. See, not everybody gotta be the loudest to be the realest. Some rappers balk, some rappers bite. Ball and G been biting since Ridgeway bus rides, since them cassette tapes labeled with Sharpie labels. They ain't screamed for attention, they earned it with every verse, every tour, every stage they touch. And to keep it a buck, that's the grit of it. Two dudes started with nothing but rhymes and a dream, battled through crooked contracts, industry politics, and changing eras, and still walked out legends, not because the game handed them the crown, but because they snatched it, wore it dirty, and never let it slip. But when the history of Southern rap get told, it ain't complete without 8Ball and MJG. Not just rappers, not just pioneers. The definition of what it means to come out hard and stay silent, and everything around you try to break you down. And if anybody ever doubted, just spin them records and let the bass lines remind you why Memphis had to be respected. Ball and G already proved it. 10 toes down forever.
Colors on deuces or the Benz on Forgiatos. 24s to be exact, ain't worry about no potholes. Bulletproof the windows and add some tints on it. A stash spot for the 40, they ain't gon' find nothing. In the lanes with my load, sipping Moet. Don't need the GPS, I got it, cuz go left. Don't take opinions from no nigga that ain't no help. We stack the handguns and put the old ones on the shelf. I had to learn to play the cards how they dealt. My bitch did a nigga wrong and she left. I ain't complaining about that shit, I was like, well, I get a new bitch. Now she calling asking me who I'm with. I'm on some new shit, everything brand new. She asked me why you got me blocked, I'm like, I had to. Call me out my name saying you sad, bitch, you sad too. And always acting like you perfect, who the fuck is you? The suede Pumas all blue, she love a nigga swag. In a box of Louis V, I'm in a different bag. We ain't the same, we different ways, so I'm in a different class. And when I get mad, I let her squabble up like Trinidad. All facts, I'm the truth, you niggas cap. Tell the police everything, but they gon' lie in y'all raps. We on that bullshit, we don't give a fuck. In traffic with it on my lap, it ain't tough. This game will never be the same, it's no trust. Give a fuck about your Drake, we got them too. They not like us, don't do too much, cause we'll pop out and show niggas. It might be a truth, but we ain't clicking up with no niggas, nah. Hotel suites, we on the top floor with it, y'all. And stand 10 toes down, they be hoping I fall. But I'm a ball, like Kobe in the last game. Mafia live from the max down to the mains. Trey 5 Siete. Rearranging nigga frames, never start shit we can't finish, we play no games. I'm from the Double M gang, they know the business. The crippin' running my veins, I'm born with it. Yeah, that nigga, free baby psych, nigga, free bad news, nigga, free tiny dub. Yeah, that, we in this motherfucker, nigga, the mafia crib. Yeah, spicy blue, little freeze, what's happening?
Niggas spent all these years on the block. Niggas spent all these years on the block and ain't got nothing to show for it. And then what a nigga do got to show, a nigga got on my own. So what I need you niggas for? Now I start to look at y'all like enemies. So in all reality, like I said, we gotta humble ourselves and we gotta come together, man. We gotta love each other. Cause that's what it's really about. Cause man, black people, if we got the strongest, we the strongest. Like in jail, nigga, on God, they separate us. It's 14 blacks to 72 Mexicans in there. And I told the police, I said, why y'all put us in there with all these Mexicans? They said because that's how it break down. Like that's how y'all can handle them.
Yeah. Snake Wood and that Puzzle. Big shout out to SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned, all that.